Hello, Mark Crossfield here, Golf Swing Weekly Fix time. Watch the channel as well, because I'm going to be getting some more golf swings onto the channel in a Golf Swing Weekly Fix kind of one-off zones. I'm getting so many sent through the app at the moment. I've had a bit of an issue, anyone who follows me online, with the app in the last 5 days. It's been crashing on certain devices. There is an update coming for anyone who is struggling, so that will hopefully fix the problem you're having with the crashing app, which really upsets me. I want that app to work for you guys. I want to, I want to communicate with you through it. It's the golf app. The AskGolfGuru app is running fine. It's just the golf app has had a few issues on some certain devices with certain iOS updates, but the update will be coming. But as a thank you to anyone who's buying the app and who has maybe struggled with it, I'm going to try and do more and more swings in the coming months. So here are a few in the Golf Swing Weekly Fix. We've also got question of the week, loads to do. Let's get stuck in. Boom, Della, boom. Let's check them out. So let's look at quite a classic backswing issue. Not a bad setup. Maybe like to see a little bit more tilt to his right, our left in the setup, but as we take the club back, what we're going to see, so pretty good coil going back, and we see this kind of really tilting towards the left side and overextending almost on the backswing of the upper body. Now the downswing is this kind of move backwards to try and get any kind of balance to that backswing and what people would call kind of casting the club, those kind of things. It's not quite that case, but it's much more to do with the way you're moving your body. So you've got your movements going the wrong way on the backswing, then vice versa the wrong way on the downswing. So let's give you some help. So we're seeing a movement where you're turning and then extending this way. So for me that would be towards my target. You can't hit the ball from there because you're almost you're ahead of the ball. So to hit the ball, as you start your downswing, everything throws too much this way and then just turns around this right leg. What I would like to see you do is try and get your upper body, certainly in your setup, just a fraction more tilted behind the ball, and then trying to turn this upper body over the inside of your right foot a little bit more. So it'll be a feeling that your upper body's almost moving behind the ball, and then the downswing wants to be a lot more of a slide, feeling that you're sliding your hips to the left as they turn through the shot. So for you, you're going here, extending towards the target, throwing back over into bend basically, and then turning around the right foot. I would like to see less extension on the backswing, so feeling like you're turning. Easiest way to feel this is to get your middle of your chest turning a bit more over your right foot on your backswing, so you don't want your hips to go. So upper body feels like it just goes slightly to the right, and then downswing is much more of a lateral. It feels to slide to the left as you turn through. If you do that, it will get rid of this kind of follow through position where you're rearing up then going forwards. So at the moment you're going, if we were to say to throw a ball, you're going back, forwards, back, throw, forwards. Quite a complicated movement. I'd like to just see you kind of pull back, move forwards to throw, and then finishing on your left side. Much more of a simple move, which will help you strike the ball hopefully a little bit more consistently. So looking at this swing, backswing's okay. It's a little cross the line, as people will call it. There's a few issues. It's just the massive collapse on the way through. I'd like to try and get you thinking about fixing. So this big bend left arm and right arm on the way through. Let's try and get you just pushing the club and your arms out away from your body a bit more, like you do on the backswing. So we need to get the club head going ahead of the hands on the way through. So I've got the club heads much further forward than my hands. For you, as you come through, it's almost like you want to keep your hands and the head together for a long time as you come through before ever letting go. So I want you really to try and get the feeling of the club head moving ahead of your hands on the way through, then in turn your hands moving ahead of your body, so more extension on the way through. Now I don't want you to think too much in a linear extension. So if you imagine I'm hitting a ball along this line, I don't want you to be trying to think that you're pushing your arms out straight in front of you in relationship to this straight line on the floor. I want you to feel like you do on the bat at the moment. Let's pretend that orange line there is where I'm going to connect. I'm going to pull away from that orange line, so I've moved the club inside of it. I'm going to push my club back out to that orange line, and then I'm going to pull back in towards myself, so it's doing this semicircle at the bottom. So like Hoopy shows us when I use the hoop, So I don't want you feeling lateral on the way through, because that often causes the left arm to give up. But what I do want you to do is feel like the head of the club is moving ahead of your hands, and your hands then are moving ahead of your body, but coming into the left on the way through. Easy way of doing this is just getting two clubs. I mean, I've got a heavy club I'll use here. So if you get two clubs together, I've got this swing stick thing here, which is really quite, that's called Momentous, I think it was called. It's heavy. It's a pretty good teaching aid, because it gets people just letting the club go at the bottom. It gets them the feeling of letting the club head move ahead of them, because if I try and hold on to this one like you're doing, it feels like I'm going to jar my back. Now you can do this with two clubs. You can just get two clubs together and swing, and it gives you the same kind of weight. Just feel that release, as people call it, so that letting the club and the hands go out in front of your body on the way through. Your striking, your direction will improve massively as long as you get that club going out in front of you and letting that club go. Try not to, again, think too laterally, so too kind of 2D straight. You got to remember, I'm swinging, so at furthest point I'm swinging towards myself, back out to that furthest point, and then back in. You need that feeling of coming into the left as you extend on the way through. You don't want to be going to a point towards you, extending to that point, and then just trying to stay along a straight line. That's not how it's working. Think of the hoop that we use a lot. Basically, it reaches a furthest point and then it starts coming back. So you want to think of that on the way through as you get that club moving ahead of your hands and the hands moving ahead of your body. So another swing sent through the app here, lots of decent movements. It looks like you're swinging quite a long way to your right, so what people would call out to in, cutting the ball back to your target. A lot can be seen by your left foot here. So there's a big pattern around what's happening to your left foot, so it'd be a right foot for a right-handed golfer. So let me show you what I mean. So definitely seeing I'm going to do the right-handed version. In fact, let's see if I can do, I always like to have a go left-handed whenever I can. I'm absolutely rubbish left-handed, but we're going to have a go. If I've got a left-handed club kicking around here, which I should do, lefty, lefty, calling you, here we go, left-handed club. So we're seeing left foot, so back foot on the follow through, moving very much this way. So just coming up and forwards, where I would like to see it moving more heel forward of the toe, because on a downswing you want that hips moving target bound, so sliding across as you get some upper body spine axis tilt away from the target, then rotating through. For you, it's more of a case of just rotating only, which is bringing this foot forward, and then in turn is making it very easy for you to exit a long way to your right, sorry, inside, so out to in as people call it. So I'm not going to be able to do this, but you're very much going that way. So there, bit of focus on that back foot. Try and get that back foot turning more, so peeling across before coming up, and that'll give you a feeling of your hips going more across to turn up, rather than just spinning out on the way through, which is giving you this across hitting action. So here we go, everyone ready to laugh? Left-handed rubbishness. Let's see if we can hit it. Oh, it's a little heavy, but it still went, not too bad. So for me, it's much more about going that way. Right, left knee comes across, foot moves in onto the big toe, then turning up, which is allowing me to try and push the club more through the ball, rather than my back foot just going forwards, left, and then my right hip just going back, and then turn, making it very easy for me to slide across the ball with my club path. Let me know how you get on. So question here, hi Mark, I'm a beginner golfer and you have given me great confidence with your teaching videos to hit the course. Great, I'm really pleased with that, Kevin. However, I'm confused regarding your apps. Why is there a Golf Pro app and an AskGolfGuru app? Are they not the same thing, and could they not be consolidated? Please, but please could you be pleased if you could clear that up. Keep up the good work. Regards, Kevin. Right, Kevin. Good question. Getting a few people asking this. So look, my idea between the two apps, they're quite different. One app is around swing, course reviews, course vlogs, a few silly fun things in there, and teaching. Okay. They're also built around you sending pictures of your swing and me analyse them in weekly fix, those kind of things. That's the golf app. That's the original app that goes with my original YouTube channel, which is the one that most people are watching. Now the second app is a Q&A app, purely Q&A, like this, simpler, smaller, less edited kind of little snapshots, question and A's, like you just walk into the pro shop, ask a question, and I just try and explain an answer. I don't take you into the studio and teach you too much. I just give you some simple answers to try and help you understand some of the questions you guys have got. And that is a separate channel, the Ask Golf Guru channel on YouTube. So we've got two separate channels. So to me, in my head, they're quite different in the levels of production. There's a part of me that feels if I just kept bunging all the Q&As up on the big channel, some people might get fed up with just these small little tidbits. They want more, which is what the big channel tries to deliver. The Q&A channel is smaller Q&As like this, kind of not throwaway questions, but more just kind of basic little questions that people have got, trying to give them answers, trying to improve their understanding, all on a theme of Q&A. So it's the two different channels, and I think the main confusion lies for people, they don't really know what channel they're on when they're watching a YouTube video. Some people don't even know what channels means. So basically I've got two channels, so you can go to a channel and watch all the content of that channel through the channel player. You don't have to be in the YouTube thing watching with all the other videos down the right side. You can just concentrate on that one channel. So I've got two channels, which is why we've got two apps, and the content for me is slightly different, which is why there are two apps. And obviously you can send your questions through the Ask Golf Guru app, and then you can send your swings through the Golf app. So it's more to do with how the thing is developed. There was one and then there's a second, and they are slightly different in my mind. But I understand what you're saying, but I hope that helps. Thanks for getting the Ask Golf Guru app. Get the Golf app if you haven't got it, because there are some great videos in there, which, well, there's over, I think, nearly 1,000 videos. There's over 900 videos in there now. Loads of great content to help you play golf. And then if you've got any questions, you want to connect with me through questions, Ask Golf Guru app is the one for you. Thanks for the sending. Hope it answers. Speak to you soon. So another swing sent through the app here, loving the covert driver here. Hope you're enjoying it as much as I enjoy mine. We're seeing a downswing. Backswing's relatively neat. We're seeing downswings here where the head of the club does not want to get down below this red line, which is the hands plane. That's the path, the hands, the angle. The hands are moving down in to hit the ball, and the club just doesn't want to get below it, which is always going to throw the club outside of the ball and then into the left, hitting it. So we need to try and get your feeling of dropping that club below that hand path. So anyone who watches my videos, this is one of my favourite drills. It just transforms people if they can get this working. We're going to do a slightly different take on how I've thought about it with other golfers. So what you're doing is you're taking the club back. As you come down, you're bringing the hand and the club down on the same path. In fact, the head of the club is slightly above the hand path, which will always make the club move this way into the ball, so much more towards the left if you come down and through. So I want you to feel this. I want you to feel when you go to the top of your backswing, so as you go up, in this room I could have got massive ceiling, so I'm never going to hit the ceiling. So I want you to make your backswing where you feel you go up and you're nowhere near the ceiling, just a normal backswing, extend and make loads of room. Now, as soon as you get to the top of your backswing, what happens is the roof just drops down to within half a foot of the top of the club. Okay, so the roof is here now, so the ceiling. So I can't do what you're doing, which is just chuck the club back up in the air, which is getting it over the hand plane. What I've got to do to hit the ball now is I've got to drop the club behind me, so under this ceiling, and then chuck it out to the ball. So I'm going to go, no problem hitting the ceiling, not going to go this way, which would just send the club back up and hit the ceiling. From here I'm going to feel that I drop the club under the ceiling and then just spin the handle, rotate the handle out towards the ball. I've done this with a few students and it completely transforms the way they think of their downswing. So don't think of lag, which so many people call it, which I think is so dangerous. I just literally want you to think of the club. So the club goes, if we use this, the club goes, there's the ceiling, club goes up on the backswing, nowhere near the ceiling. Now when it starts down, you want to go this way, but that ceiling's dropped, so you're just going to whack it. I want you to feel like the club just drops down to come out to hit the ball. And what that does, that club dropping down, it drops it much more below the hand plane and gets you hitting through the ball or more from the inside, which is what people want. So we need to get that feeling of that club head dropping below the hand path. Use that ceiling fort. Don't hit that ceiling on the downswing, and you'll find your strike's direction will absolutely transform. So another swing here sent through the app, lots of good movements, quite a sharp downswing. So look, I'm just going to draw a line on the handle here. That's the handle at impact, so the bit you're holding on to. And there's the handle at address, so quite a raising of the hands as you come in to hit the ball. Now what we see here is this kind of desire. If I just draw a line on here, let's follow this down so it's there. So that's your hand path. Look at the angle you're presenting here. So you're dropping the head below the hand path, which is good, but you're holding on to so much what people call lag, which gets you in so many troubles hitting the ball very high with your hands. It looks like the club's moving massively out to the right, and you can hit a variation of shots there. So we need to get you trying to feel like you're hitting, exiting further left, and trying to take all this angle out to get that impact a little less kind of chaotic. See this a lot with people who really get kind of hooked up on lag and the word lag. You'll notice in my videos I don't really talk about lag hardly at all, if ever. People get it so confused often. So for you what we're seeing is this kind of action. Backswing not too bad, downswing's just in here. So you're pulling the handle so close towards you and retaining so much angles. You come in and hit the ball. The only way to hit the ball now is to deliver that club by raising up those hands and raising up that what we call vertical swing plane, so raising up the sweet spot. We'll often point the club face to the right. So people who understand custom fitting, if I lay the club this way, it tends to point the loft to the left. If I point it more upwards, it tends to point the loft to the right. So the higher your hands get with this kind of downswing where you're raising the handles, the more rotation the club will need for you not to push it. And the more you're rotating the club around the axis of the shaft too much, you're going to get some variations of shots. Very hard to control that action. So for you, what I want you to do is think a lot more about trying to get your handle as you come down, A, little bit more behind you, and B, trying to feel you actually, and this is the one that people struggle with this one, I know this is going to get some funny comments, I want you to feel like you actually throw it a bit more away from you on the way down and then hit the ball. I want you to take these sharp angles out, because what I really want you to do, and I'm not trying to get you to take the lag out, because what will happen when you feel like you're throwing it that way, you won't actually throw it that way. Most people don't. They keep the same angle, but they just move it a bit further back, which gives it more time for the head and the handle to kind of catch up down at impact. So what happens is you bring the handle in so close that you can't hit the ball anywhere but right unless you emergently twist and raise the handle to hit the ball, almost like a cricket shot. Hit it. Which, like I say, that twisting around of the face is going to give you some pretty wild spins if you're not careful and miss hits. This is a very common one for people who struggle with shanks as well, hitting the neck. They get this fault quite a lot. So downswing for you, I actually want you to feel like you're shallowing. I want you to feel on the downswing like you're actually throwing it behind you. So behind you and behind you. So I want you to feel like you're throwing it behind you and behind you and then hit. So feel like the club is coming to you at a much shallower rather than so steep with raising up hands. Then at the same time, so once you've dropped it behind you, as you come in and hit the ball, don't be afraid then to just spin it around your left leg. So we're basically trying to get you to hit it more this way, rather than at the moment you're hitting it up here. So as you come down, club could be travelling quite straight, but the raising the handle is going to affect where the face is pointing, which is then going to require loads more twisting of the face, which is what gets people in so much trouble consistency wise. I want to get rid of this massive raise of the hand. So for you, it's about trying to throw it behind you and then hitting the ball. Don't be afraid to try and exit a bit more into the left as you hit the ball. You'll find your strikes, and I know these thoughts, lots of people will struggle with these. It will feel very, very odd, and it's quite contradictory what lots of people have been saying about creating more lag. I'm telling you to take it out. It's not really taking the lag out, but that's the easiest way I've found out of explaining it to people to get them to actually achieve the right numbers when we measure them on the launch monitors. Hope that helps. Post comments down below. I'd love to hear, because that one's got a confusing one. I'd be interested to know what your take is on that. Speak to you soon. What's going on here? Don't be afraid to subscribe to the channel. Also thumbs up the video, post comments. Love to hear what you guys got to say. Let's keep it social. The more we talk, the more we share, the easier this game will get for everybody. So if you want to find me on Facebook here, you can find me on Facebook. If you want to tweet me, find me on Twitter here as well. Just follow the links, all in the description. Come and join the show. Get active, get involved, get playing some better golf. Thanks for watching.